Hello and welcome everyone to my second video of the JFlowers equipment reviews, and today I've got a video about the loaded brake cue here, which I got from the JFlowers. First of all, I'd like to give a disclaimer that I am sponsored by JFlowers, so I might be biased towards their equipment, but either way I must say that this is definitely a quality product, which I am not afraid to say that it is up there with all the greats. Although the price for the loaded, I must say, not one of the most budget friendliest out there, but at the same time it's also not one of those equipment cues that you would buy for like 1,000 euros out there. As I'd say, it is half the price than all the most expensive brake cues that you can buy in the market. So I can still recommend it as a budget cue, although it's going to be more expensive than the most cheapest JFlowers playing cue out there. So it's up to you whether or not you want to buy a brake cue which is more expensive than the playing cue. It's up to everyone's preference, I'd say. So this is the JFlowers loaded brake cue. It comes with their next gen carbon fiber shaft and is currently available in two versions, one being the vulcanized rubber sports wrap and the another one being the wrapless one. I went myself with the wrapless version to match my playing cue, which is also the wrapless Dante from JFlowers. The price of the cue is currently on sale for $479 if you're going for the sports wrap version, or $469 if you're going for the wrapless version. Although the price might seem a bit high, just so you know that the actual price is going to be for $599, so this is still a really good deal if you compare it to all the premium brake cues out there. Some more known brands will have their brake cues closer to 4 digits. The butt of the loaded brake cue is made from maple and features several inlays, which is part of what also bumps up the price a bit, putting it closer to higher end brake cues compared to more maybe basic options that might have similar specs but lack the premium finish on them. And when speaking about the premium finish, the bottom you've got a metal butt cap with the JFlowers logo and up to 7 aluminum rings throughout the butt that add to its premium look. The shaft itself features red accent rings, one near the joint and another just before the white sighting plate and custom tip, which I'll talk more about shortly. One of the unique and cool ideas that JFlowers used for the loaded brake cue design are these metal joint protectors, which are red colored. It really adds like this premium feel towards the entire cue. The cue is also extension ready. The bumper is designed so you can screw in any of the JFlowers extensions, whether to add weight to the brake cue or to give yourself a bit more reach. The loaded also uses a quick release joint system, which makes putting the cue together really fast and easy. Also, if you have the JFlowers RPG Jump Cue, not only do they have the matching designs, but you can also actually swap shafts between them thanks to the same joint system. So if you ever wanted to try braking with the RPG's 14mm shaft or jumping with the loaded 12.9mm, you can. Now let's get into the two things I think matter the most when it comes to brake cues, which are the tip of the cue and the weight. The loaded cue comes with a custom tip, which is 12.9mm epoxy infused layered leather tip, which is believed to be very similar to the Samsara tip, if you're familiar with it. And from my own experience with the loaded is that it delivers really great feedback and performs like a high-end tip should on any other premium feel brake cue. As for the weight, the cue comes in at 18.7 ounces, which are about 530 grams. That's slightly lighter than most playing cues, which usually fall between 19 to 19.5 ounces or 538 to 552 grams, but generally the difference is not that high, so for players that would like their brake cue to be very similar to their playing cue, then this is a really good option for them. I always personally recommend using a brake cue that's either lighter than or similar in weight to your playing cue. This also helps you develop better control and timing with your brake, I believe. A lighter cue lets you swing through the ball faster without relying purely on strength, so basically it's all about speed rather than the force. Heavier cues can slow down your stroke, especially if you're trying to power through the shots, so that's why the weight really does matter and come in play here. Lastly, I would like to mention something that's very often overlooked, and that's setting up your racks properly. No matter how expensive or well made your brake cue might be, if your rack isn't tight with the balls frozen together, your brake will suffer from that, and that's why I always recommend using a good quality magic rack and take a second to check for gaps by using the shadow from your palm. It's a simple trick but really effective to check whether or not there's reduce any unnecessary gaps between the balls. And of course, with a good rack setup and just a bit of practice, you can get to a point where you consistently know which balls you're aiming to pocket on the break and how to control them. It all starts with setting up the rack correctly, then building the muscle memory for your stance, cue ball position, and break speed, I'd say. So in this break, my goal is to sink one of the balls from the second row into a side pocket. I've placed the cue ball about 2 to 3 fingers off center and aimed directly at the 6 ball. The idea here is to hit it cleanly while keeping the cue ball near the center of the table, which sets me up for an easier start to the rack. As you can probably tell from the body movement, I'm not going for a high-powered break like Jeffrey the Luna would be. This is a controlled swing, smooth and measured, which gives me consistent results in an 8-ball rack from this position. I'm not trying to overpower the shot, instead I'm using a break speed I've practiced and feel confident with. This is exactly where a lighter cue or one with similar weight to your playing cue makes a difference. It helps you develop the muscle memory for repeatable breaks without relying on raw power or guessing the right speed each time. So thank you for watching my second review video of the JFlowers equipment, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it was insightful for at least someone out there who's still looking for information to help with their final decision regarding which break cue they want to purchase. And definitely the loaded, for my own conclusion, is worth every penny that you will spend on it. And whether or not it is going to be the break cue for you, that's up to you to decide. And I hope you have a great day and stay awesome, everyone.